So I've had a few people ask me how I mix my colors and how I do my pours. So this is going to be, while I'm on lockdown 101, how I mix my paints for my dirty pours, and some of the techniques that I use for those as well. So usually I just I'll rinse and reuse my cups out just because it's easier. So you can see it's empty. So I'm just gonna put some water in there. I have bottles for everything. It's usually about 2 ounces water, 2 ounces of the pouring medium. This is my pouring medium bottle. I'm just going to put that in there. Give it a good squirt in there. Take a clean, wipe down stick, and I'm just going to stir that for a couple minutes just to get a good mixture on it. Usually about a minute's all you really need. And I already have some of my other colors that are already pre-mixed in bottles. So I'm going to take my orange. And I'm just going to give it a good squirt in there. Put on my paint cart. All right, and then I'm going to stir this up. Oh, and I actually made this one a little too runny, so I'm going to have to add more paint to it. Yeah, this one's you can actually see how watery this one is, so. But I'm just going to mix it here and give it a good mix as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and then I'll add a little bit more of the orange paint in there. May not have to. It's actually thickening up here the more I mix it. Okay. Make sure you're scraping the bottom of the cup and make sure, it's coming together. So it's going to be good. So if you want it a little thicker, you can always make it a little thicker depending on what kind of pour that you want to do. But this is going to be perfect. So I'm going to actually do a cup pour with these colors. So this is going to actually be perfect. Yeah, and you want to make sure that you're actually, like I said, scraping the bottom and the sides. You want to make sure there's no clumps at all in it. Oh yeah, that came together really good. See? When I do a strainer pour, I like it a little bit thicker than that, just maybe a hair thicker than that. So I'm going to go ahead, pause this, and get the rest of my colors mixed up, and I'll be back to show you the rest. And I'm back really quick. So I've decided that I am going to do a little something special with this one as well. I'm actually going to use one of my Deco Art metallics just to give it some copperish gold in there. I love these paints. I buy them at Hobby Lobby, especially when they're on sale. You can get a great deal on them. For those that live out here in the West, I don't know if you guys have Hobby Lobby on the East Coast. I hope you do, because excuse me, it's an amazing craft store that I absolutely love. And make sure you download Hobby Lobby app as well, because you do get great the ads every week, and then you'll get that great 40% off coupon on any regular priced item. So if there's something that you guys see that you want, you can always just use it, but their sales are always great, and I always end up using my 40% off anyways. So I've had these for a while, so I always leave the protectant on it too. And you can see in there that it's a pretty thick paint. I just take one of my spoons and I'm going to plop a nice big glob in there. Set that right there. Take this. And I'm going to start mixing it. And again, depending on the effect you're going for and the consistency of the paint, All depends on what you plan on doing with the paint. These are a little harder to mix, just because they're a little bit thicker. So you're gonna see when I'm mixing it, there, all those little edges right there, that coming up. We wanna make sure that we get that stuff really well blended in there. And right now this is still too runny. So I'm going to go ahead and put in another nice help heaping scoop of this, and that should be good. These paints right here are what make the paintings a little bit more expensive as well. Because like I said, these paints are a little more expensive than the normal ones that some people actually use. The paints I like to use, I'll just show you really quick. Our Master's Touch is one of them. I actually just tried, what are these called? Artist Loft. They're okay. They're not the greatest, but I'll work with them. I got them on a good sale. But my other favorite brand would also be the, what is this? Liquitex Basic Acrylics. I mean, they have some really great colors as well. So I'm excited to use those colors. As well as Anita's. I like my Anita's. I've come quite fond of it. I get a lot of paintings out of them, which makes me very happy. Yeah, this is perfect. So I'm going to take this. I'm just going to dip that in there for a second. I don't want it to dip all over my... I've already screwed up one painting. I don't need to screw up another. Today. Oh, let me slide that back down. So, see if I can clean this out in there a little bit. Get that excess paint off before I throw this in my water. All right. I'm just gonna throw it on the canvas. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna throw that in my water there. Just gonna spread it on there. All right. Give this a couple more quick stirs here, just because I want it to be a certain consistency. I want it a little on the runny, but not too runny. Now, and I used this cup here so you guys could actually see too that these paints, how nice you want to see it. So you want it nice and smooth like that in the cup. You don't want to see any chunks on the side. If you see any chunks on the side, keep mixing. That's all I can say is keep mixing. All right, now I'm happy with all of my colors the way they're mixed. So next what I'm gonna do is I have people always asking me, how do I get some of those cool looking cells? Well, I'm gonna show you how I get some of those cool looking cells in my paintings. One of them, thank you Lucas Motor Oil Sports for making a great detailer. Not only is it great for detailing your car, it's also great for doing pours. I also use Rain-X, is another one. This is actually the liquid wax, so it's Rain-X liquid wax. And then they also have, by color pour, it's called Cell Magic. So you can always use the Cell Magic as well. And I mix them up. I never once ever use the same thing. I never know what I'm gonna do. So I just, all right, you get a couple dabs of this. You don't need a lot of it. What's nice about this is this one actually has a little dipper on it already, so you can just go 1, 2, 3. That's all you really need. And I'm gonna do a couple in different colors. Boom. Excuse me. Then I'm gonna mix it. So any of the ones I just put the magic cell in, I'm going to stir right away because I wanted to let it sit in there and soak up in there really quick. You can also use any kind of a dish detergent, which will give you nice cells as well. But I found these give me better looking cells, so that's what I use. And if you ever want to make your own pouring medium, I have found that you can actually make your own pouring medium out of glue and water. And I'm actually going to try it with Mod Podge because I love Mod Podge. So I'm going to see if that's going to work for me. that will be another different day, another video, because I have more than enough right now. Yellow. I love this yellow. This yellow color is like, oh, it's beautiful. It's like the sun, and when it, oh, I just love it. It's one of my favorite colors, actually. And I'm not really a yellow person, which is surprising. Let me move this out of the way. Jen has had a bad habit of knocking things over today, so Jen's not going to do that anymore. So that's nice and stirred. We're gonna let that one sit. So I'm gonna put these back right around in there, just to get them out of my way for right now. Okay. I know I put some in the blue. So I'm gonna put some in the blue, mix the blue up really well. Put some in the gold. Actually, do this. I'm gonna put a dab of this in here too. Just a squirt. And I have little droppers that you can use as well. But if it has a pour on it, I just pour it. I free pour it because I can tell I've gotten used to it by now. So, but I suggest that you use one of those. 3 to 4 drops. You don't need a whole bottle. I've accidentally had the top of one pour off of me. That's not fun. All right. I'm going to take a couple squirts of that, a couple squirts of that, and a couple squirts in there. My OCD-ness makes me put my stuff away really quick, so. Excuse me. And that wind out there today is blowing all this pollen around, so I've got the garage door closed today. But from having it open yesterday, a lot of that pollen has blown in here. And it's wreaking havoc on my allergies. All right, so I'm gonna finish stirring these and I'll be right back. All right, so now here comes the fun part. I have all my colors readily available right here for me. So again, this is gonna be Colors of the Rainbow expired. Oh my God, I'm special today. Inspired. I'm trying to get my camera to, there we go, just so you can see. So there's all my colors right there. Excellent. I'm gonna do this one with white. So I'm just shaking up my pre-mixed white that I already have in my bottle. And I am going to add it to this little handy dandy cup. Now I'm not doing a huge painting, I'm only doing an 8 by 10. I want to give it enough white in there. So, boom, booyah, white. Okay, so I was looking for, what was I looking for? Don't worry about it. And I'm going to start pouring them in. And you can pour them in however you want. And then just move the cups out of the way because you don't want to accidentally have an accident like I've done and waste your paint and then have to remix it. It's not fun at all. It's actually quite irritating. I'm gonna pour the orange in right like so. My black one out of the way. Next, I'm going to add my yellow, my pretty yellow. And yes, I know I have extra paints because I'm going to do a couple different pours with these colors as well. So I made sure to make extra. There's a green. I'm using a different blue today. I'm hoping that this one's a little bit brighter. Then I'm adding the purple. Okay. So now that I got those all in there, I can already see cells starting to form in the cup. I'm just trying, I don't want to move it around too much. But there are cells starting to start up in there. I am going to move those out of the way for right now. On the bottom of my canvases, I like to use push pins. Very simple, very easy. Just a cheap roasting pan with a cheap rack. And I'm just going to put it on there. This way it catches the paint and doesn't make a huge mess. And I like that. Let me clean this. Let me get this and this ready because that's going to go right there. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to add some white to it. Again, it's already pre-mixed. My handy dandy spatula. I like my handy dandy spatula. Now what this does is this actually helps to move the paint cup around. And I'm not worried about that gold right there, that copperish gold. That's fine and dandy. Now I see people that just use their gloves all the time. It's fine too, which I'm going to end up doing really quick. Pull this off. I'm just going to take it just so I can get some of that white on the sides. I like to have that coating on the sides as well. Not a lot, just enough. Because when it starts to pour over, it's going to make it easier to cover as well. Make sure I get those corners really well too. I'm big on getting the corners. It's a pet peeve of mine if they're not done. Get out of there. So get that white in there. All right. I don't care. All right, I'm gonna put you back in. Sometimes with the rack, it's harder to get it in with the push pins, but I still like it that way. It's easier. Actually, I've never tried it this way instead of mine. I'm going to take the rack with the canvas and just flip it. And we're going to see what we're going to get. Just letting it sit there. And I went up a little higher than I normally would too. Let's hope this works. Ooh, that looks really cool. All right, put that off to the side. I'm gonna throw my heat gun on it. Look at those cells. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I love cells. Can you see that in there? That right there. Wow. Now I don't want to hit it too much with that heat gun. Only because I don't want it to dry too quick. So, another reason I like to use the rack. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to give it, push it down that way. I want to push it back up this way. And you can see some of those cells starting in there already. I don't want to lose those. Just going to drag it back down this way. Spin it this way. And oh wow, I'm loving those. I am really loving those. And then I'm gonna come back, bring it back this way. So let me get this edge here. I don't want to push it too much. Very gingerly. I'm going to bring it back this way. So I want to get the sides covered right there. Okay. I'm liking that. I'm liking it a lot. I'm loving that bottom. That bottom right there looks like lightning. Lightning. So cool. All right. So now I really like this, but I do want to add a few things to it. So I'm going to throw another little quick burst of heat on it because I want to pull some more of those cells out. See what we can pull. I don't want to touch that bottom. That bottom is too unique and very abstract. Oh, I love it. Now, with some of that white, what I was going to do, I don't know which stick I want to use. I have sticks, I have tubing, I have whatever. I want to bring in just a little bit of this gold right in there. And then a little right in here. Just to give it a little bit of that. All right. I'm going to take my tubing first and just blow on it. Just to give it that little bit of a swirl in there. Now it ate up it in there, and I don't like that. All right. It's all right. We're going to make this work. There's some right there. Add a little bit more in there. I'm going to blow it really quick. Yeah, you can see that gold in there, which looks really cool. And you can see when I'm blowing it, like, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm hoping you can, but like right in here, it's creating more cells as I blow it, which is really cool effect too. But I'm really trying to get that gold to pour through down there. Yeah, I like that. That looks really decent and really kind of cool. And that one little speck of gold in there, oh, makes me happy. All right. And then another technique that I like to do is I like to use either an orange wood stick, and I don't know where my other ones are, but I had some really long sticks as well. What I'm going to do here, because I want to try to break this up a little bit in here. So I'm going to do just a little bit like that. And this is not the stick that I really want to use for it. it'll give me that whip that I'm trying to get in there. There we go. And you can just go through and you can get put in designs like that. I really need to. I know 6. I hope I didn't use them all. Let me see. Try something. Oh, there goes. There goes my chair. I'm gonna come through and use this. And you can see more cells are popping up out of here, and I love it. But I want to give this a little bit of a wisp right there. And then I want to give it wisps right through there. Yeah, this is working better than that stick. All right, this is actually coming out really cool. And I just want to put a little bit more gold in here just to break up some of the color right in there. Drop it. All right, I'm gonna give that a quick blow. Oh, that's cool. I just created a jelly. Oh my God. And I'm bringing up some of those bottom colors. I need to turn this now. Doesn't really matter. Oh, I like those cells right in there too. Excuse me. This one's definitely going to be a cool epoxy pour. This would be perfect. Pour some epoxy over it. All right, I'm going to right here. I just want to put little dabs of it because it looks like almost like a flower right there. All right, clean that off. I'm just gonna whisk this. I want that little whip in there. There we go. And that's okay that I did that. All right, well, I'm gonna pause this right now. I'm gonna do a few more things on it and I'll be back to show you the finished product. All right, I'm just hitting it with heat one more time. Just a quick burst, just to see if I can pull anything else out, but this is looking really tight right now. I really like this one a lot. I'm excited to see how it's gonna dry. I don't want to move this, so I'm actually gonna try to pick up my camera here. Forgive me. Okay.